Through your role at the club.
Role as a chairman. I don't know if there's an official way of describing it. It's just bringing things together, really. Just being that kind of bridge between different people, trying to make things run a bit smoothly. Because we've got all volunteers here, all with different ideas or whatever. So it's just a case of someone overseeing it and hopefully bringing things together. So,
what do you think your biggest challenge in your job is?
I guess the challenge is just working with people, volunteers, and making things run smoothly. I guess is what it is. Everyone has their own ideas, their own ways of doing things or whatever. So, but it's in a club, everyone's as important as the next person. So it's just a case of just trying to find that right balance really in doing that.
So when you made up from the step 5 up to step 4, did you have to increase the amount of volunteers you have here?
Well, that's what's happening now, and it's happening organically, because I think the more success you get, the more people become involved. The more people become involved or come to see it, you get more volunteers. So it's a numbers game really. Success breeds success if there's people in, and there's lots of good people who do want to help out, which is great.
So obviously with more crowds coming in, do you think there's a safety problem here maybe with kind of the lack of maybe entrances and exits? I mean, Simon touched on that last time.
No. It's there's other authorities that have to look at that, but it's not a ground that's tight. There's plenty of entrances. So no, I don't see nothing about security at all. No issues.
Do you think the location of the ground could be a bit of an issue as well, with obviously the canal being so close, being a bit prone to flooding? Is that an issue you have to face?
Not the pitch we don't here. The pitch is perfect. There's pumps in, there's drainage in, there's no issues with that. The wider manor fields where we have the youth teams playing, then yes, it's a floodplain, so it floods, and it's just natural weather cycle that happens. But that's happened since this place was born in the 1950s. It's always been a floodplain. There's a river, floods happen. That's what it is. But as for the pitch, no, for loads of work here, that it doesn't happen. I don't know if I think it was last year. It was a game, local game, Winslow, and on the Wednesday half the pitch was underwater, and by Saturday it was perfect. So, no.
Have you put a lot of time into making sure the pitch has all the correct draining and things like that?
Yeah, not me so much, but the Irish Centre, who are the landlords of the place, who we are very much in, it's a partnership between us. But they've put a lot of work over the years, underground drainage, pumps and things. So it's bearing that. The benefits for all that work is coming through now. So.
How did you get involved in MKI?
That's the story between Trees. He's a friend of mine, and we were away cycling 2018. Buckingham Town was folding. Michael phoned Terry, because they'd already had conversations that maybe if that inevitability happened, or that possibility had happened, that Terry would take over. And he just looked at me and said, "You want help?" And I said, "Yeah, I want help," and that's it. I was involved from there. Really.
Do you think there's still a lot of remnants from the Unite MK days that were played down here?
It's part of the history. It brought in people that were part of Unite MK, and then I suppose that amalgamation happened as well. It is an amalgamation of all these clubs who were Buckingham and Unite MK were here at the time, so the people involved in that moved with us as well. So yeah, amalgamation. But yeah, it's still all there. Yeah.
What do you think the biggest difference between manor fields now and manor fields of 2020?
Successful football team, I guess, and then from that it breeds successful club people. So 2020, 20 people and their dog might be watching. It's 200 people. That in itself, that was we had a guy from the FA come in and said, "How do you judge success?" And I just said, "The amount of people who come and watch it," and that actually is a pretty good reflection, because people only come if they're enjoying it. So you're doing lots of other things right if they do come. Publicity, social media, the day, the whole experience of being here, people enjoy it. So we're doing something right. They all come to we're doing something right. That's for sure.
So last season, obviously, you won the league by quite a bit. Talk me through the success of last season.
Well, it's not. It wasn't just last season. It was the season before as well, and maybe actually the real shoot of it was the season before, the back end of the what is it? So it's what we know, 25, 26, 23, 24 season, when we went to Newport. We beat Newport when they were ready for the Vars, and you could see then we had a decent. It was suddenly the football just was like, oh, this is good, and then it just kicked off from there, from that whole season of the 24-25 season. Obviously, it was been us and Real Bedford. There wasn't much between us at the end of the day, and then it's the pleasing thing, we pushed on last year and done it. So yeah, just the football, it's players, football, the whole thing. Yeah.
How are you preparing for step 4?
How am I personally?
Yeah.
Well, I'm aware that it's going to be it's a bigger challenge. I think we'll only really know when we're in it and see where we are and how we're progressing football-wise. But as for for me, it's about trying to keep the crowds up, people coming in, getting sponsorship. You need a certain amount of revenue at this level of football, and I think sponsorship's a big thing we've really got to be pushing this year, which we've started. We've got a commercial man who's kind of getting out there trying to get things. It's not easy raising money, so that's the big thing now. Is the next, we've been on it for a month or two now, and continue for the next month or two, just trying to raise sponsorship, so it all helps build the club. So
obviously, moving on into further seasons, Project Enigma is coming up. Talk me through the plans for that. It's pretty exciting.
I'm not really. I mean, it's an exciting thing. Personally, that is a wider community project, which the football club will have its part in. But that's a big thing for Manor Fields itself, a regeneration of Manor Fields, which we'll be part of. We've got a lease here that allows us to be here, so therefore we'll be part of the conversation. But since I got here, since I've been involved in this, it was obvious that to me anyway, that the rugby club, the cricket, and the football had to come together. And then you had to address the whole of this, because you couldn't do it on your own, because the leases are all separate leases and with the council. So hopefully it'd be a good thing. Hopefully it does continue to proceed, and it happens, because I think it'll just be a good thing all round. Really. There's still lots to discuss on it, but the initial plans look great. You can see how that could really work well.
Have you always been on good terms with the Rugby and Cricket Club?
Oh, I think historically there's been issues before our time. I maybe think that's one of the things I did try and instigate from the start, was a better relationship between the rugby club and us. So I think we've achieved that now. We now lease pitches off them, which they so we're working together on that kind of stuff. And then Enigma is obviously another thing that's there. So yeah, I think the relationship's much better now than it was.
So obviously, Manor Fields as a whole, is there going to be big changes to like the youth team set up as well? Are they going to still be playing down here?
Well, that's the plan. The youth section is growing. I think last year we had 6 or 7 teams, so now it's up to 10, 11, 12, something like that. We've got a new Jamie Green. He's now chairman of the youth section. A very, very intelligent man. Very knows his football. I'm sure he's got some good plans going forward to make this a real football, total football club. We've started the process, but it's now for other people to take that forward. And we've got a certain amount of land here that we can use. If we don't flood, then we'll start. Yeah.
So a few years ago, you announced a partnership with the MK College. Can you touch on that at all?
That was something I wasn't really involved in that, so I don't know what that was. I wasn't involved with it, so I don't know. I know it's not there at this moment in time. Yeah.
And you also had one with, I believe it was Bletchley Scots as well.
Well, so the history from the youth section is it was Scott Youth they were a youth section on their own, and actually they come across to us. So they kept Scott Youth coming to us and became Irish Youth. That's basically the history of that. So.
Does the first team ever really pull players out of the youth team to play for the first team?
Has it happened yet? Not the first team, but that's the ambition is to kind of this year now we've got it's called a development section called the under-18s where they'll play the Fuzzy League, and there's 2 under-18 teams playing one's in the Bedford League and the other one's the MKPL League. So yeah, the plan is that hopefully you can bring a pathway for players to come through all the way through into the reserves and into the first team. It's early days and we're just kind of finding our feet with that one really. So it's a learning year this year of how we do it.
Yeah. So with your reserve team and under-18 team all kind of playing in the same ground, do you think there's a risk of kind of the ground getting weathered a bit quicker?
No. The pitch is plenty fit for the first team, reserve team, and the first league team. I don't think there's any issue there.
What's your ambitions for the first team this season? Where do you want them to kind of be?
It's also we all dream. Personally, I think it's a constant consolidation for the year. If we just hold our own and we stay up, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm sure Terry might have bigger, better plans, but we'll just see how that goes. But I think consolidation is always important because we're not a club with money that you keep throwing at it. You don't know where you are until you're in playing with it. So we'll see.
What clubs are you kind of excited to come to visit Manfields?
It will be the local ones, Leighton Town. That's always good. There'll be a big crowd. I think Hitchin, they have big support, and that'll be another big crowd for us. So yeah, all the games will be good, but the big crowd games are better. I mean, they're revenue makers and there's atmosphere makers. So the more the better. The bigger the crowd, the better for us. So.
And finally, with Project Enigma, where do you want the club to be when that's happening? Do you want them to be step 2 or?
Yeah, I suppose I haven't really got a strong thing of where we should be at any real one stage. I think it will be. You do see that now with a bit of success, it's great, and you just want to continue on that path and see where we are. But it's like saying how good this season is. We just got to keep going forward. That's it.